Rain, rain, go away, come again, not on a Friday, Mike. Welcome inside the Friday Night Football Showdown. We have reached week 8, and this is where the competition really cranks up.
That's right. A lot of teams are trying to put themselves in a position, Josh, for a district championship as region play continues here on a rainy Friday, like you said.
St. Martin, where the Yellow Jackets took on Harrison Central. The Red Rebels beat St. Martin last season 17-10, but the Yellow Jackets are tough to beat at home as they have a 4-game home win streak. First drive of the game, the handoff to Jay McGee, who stuffed as he's met by a swarm of Red Rebels up the middle there. Harrison Central wouldn't be able to contain him much after that, Mike. Jackets go up 3 and out. Gabriel Showalter from a little over 30 yards, and it's no good. The rejection from the goalpost there. Micaiah Hibbert says, don't sweat that. We'll get him next time. Red Rebels with the ball. Jacoby Moore wanted more on this run, but Easton Wynn and company stops him right in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Harrison Central punts and is back to the St. Martin offense, where Jay McGee took on the entire Rebel defense. Get off me, boy! McGee picks up a few more before being body slammed. I guess that's what you have to do to take him down at the 3-yard line. He definitely deserves some water after that run. Micaiah Hibbert finished the drive off, crossing the pile line for the first touchdown of the game, 7-0 St. Martin. And former Yellow Jacket, now Mississippi State Bulldog, Brandon Cunningham was in attendance, and he likes what he sees from his former team. St. Martin shuts out the Red Rebels 27-0. A slow start for the Yellow Jackets because of the wet conditions, as we've already mentioned, but thankfully for St. Martin, they could rely heavily on Easton Wynn and the rest of the Jacket defense to contain Harrison Central's Jaden McClain and Jacoby Moore, who's one of the best wide receivers on the coast.
Oh, without question. I'm not going to deny that. Now to a team that was beaten by St. Martin last week, the Hancock Hawks. They seem to have fallen a little bit on hard times, dropping their last 3 games after starting the season 3-0. Things would not get any easier coming into this week with their opponent right there, Gulfport. They've won 18 straight region games and are back-to-back Region 4-6A champs. First quarter, quarterback Samaje Robertson breaks through the line and finds a gap. He's just brought down. He was this close to scoring, and he knows it. But don't worry, because just a couple plays later, he's going to take the snap and dance in for the touchdown. Wide open hole. Hancock scores on the opening drive. Very next possession, Gulfport gets the ball back. They march right down the field, and Cade Crosby with a nice little pass to Tommy Johnson, for the score. Gulfport ties it up near the end of the first quarter. Now next possession, again, these teams would score a lot in the first half. Sebastian Fawcett pounds it in from a yard out. He was stopped just short the play prior, but he makes sure he gets in there. They regain the lead. Gulfport would swing right back in what was a punch-for-punch game. It's a reverse. Number 14, Zayshawn Crawford hits the brakes, says, get out of my face, gets himself into the end zone. 4 touchdowns in 4 drives to open this game that took almost the entire first half. Gulfport would add on a field goal just before halftime to separate that and go on to win a thriller, 31-28. Admirals have now won 19 straight region games, 19 straight. East Central is currently in a 4-way tie for 3rd place in Region 4-5A, but a win tonight over Wayne County, Josh, could decide who the number 2 seed will be behind Picayune for the playoffs.
You're right, and we bring in our Bill Snyder, who's going to join us live from Hurley with the highlights. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Josh and Michael. I know they had some rain on the coast. We had some before the game here, but when kickoff came, it was high and dry, and time to find out who would walk away with this victory, East Central or Wayne County. Let's take a look. Wayne County and East Central, which team would see the silver lining tonight? On the second play from scrimmage, Wayne County's Shadamian Williamson breaks loose and cuts loose 53 yards to the house. Just like that, 7-0 War Eagles. But East Central answers. They get that vaunted running game going. Dylan Grindsteiner grinding it out. 46 yards down inside the Wayne County 10. They would score on a Will Young quarterback sneak and tie the game at 7. Now second quarter, Tayshawn McGee finds a seam and exploits it. 17-yard touchdown. It's 13-7 East Central. Now some East Central D. Lane Hollis with some cookies in the end zone on the pick, stopping a Wayne County drive. Then the run game, grinding it out again, taking it to the next levels. Will Young burrowing his way in, 20-7 Hornets. Now Wayne County will answer now in the second quarter. At the other end, Geronte Walker cuts the lead to 20-14. However, it's time for more ground and pound or grind with Dylan Grindsteiner from 5 yards out, 27-14 East Central at halftime. Second half we go. Wayne County goes on a 21-0 scoring run, capped off after the first punt attempt of the game is blocked, and big Jonathan Street picks it up, rumbles home. It's 35-27 War Eagles. Now, late fourth quarter, Will Young, the East Central quarterback, with his 4th touchdown of the game, cuts the lead to 42-40. Next up, the onside kick by East Central. However, it doesn't work. Wayne County recovers, and they win it 42-40. Yeah, guys, this turned into a shootout. Wayne County now 5-2 and 3-0. They get Pascagoula next week. East Central's 4-3 and 1-2. They take on Goche next week. So a shootout tonight. Wayne County wins it. In Hurley, Bill Snyder, WLOX News Now.
42-40, Mike? That's a shootout
like
for
points?
real. Yes.
Okay, that game was for us because I do too.
If you're not at Cruising the Coast right now, you know where you need to be. Right here on the Friday Night Football Showdown. Biloxi hasn't made the playoffs since 2016. Ocean Springs made it last year, Mike.
And a win tonight would be crucial for both teams' playoff chances. Tristan Rupert joins us live in studio with a breakdown of what went down.
Mike, Josh, a huge divisional rivalry, playoff implications, and pride were at stake. The Indians walked in 5-1 on the season and were looking for number 6. Yet the Hounds were 2-4 and needed a statement win. With that in mind, take a listen to the Greyhound locker room pregame.
Y'all really ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Nightmares out here! As you can see, the boys came out fired up, but Biloxi won the toss and they chose to receive. Elijah Sabatini got to show off his talent early, fields this one just outside the 10, and he sees a gap, starts going east and west, not north or south, but when you're that talented, it doesn't matter. Knocked down at the 40, and the Indians start with great field position. Chad O'Neill drops back and slings it to Sabatini, obviously trying to find him early, but a textbook tackle by Mitchell Bowie, and he applauds his own effort, and who can blame him? Sabatini is quite hard to bring down. The band loving the defensive effort, and the Greyhounds are now driving. Here, Noblin finds him on the wheel route. Jahiel McCreary, all shake, no bake. There's nowhere to go, but the helmet-to-helmet hit puts them in the red zone, and here, a handoff to Jack King, the end around. Look at all that speed. He extends for the pylon, but just short. A penalty pushes the Hounds back, but Blake Noblin seeks to right that wrong, calls his own number, and he goes airborne, but he again is also short. But still, the Hounds are inside the 1, and that is where the power of Jakari Smith comes into play. He punches this one in. The Hounds are up 7-0 early, and the student section is absolutely loving it. Look at all the support. Just wait for it. Look at it. All that color, all that talent, and the defense obviously was feeding off the energy. Chad O'Neill dancing in the pocket, and I do mean dancing, but Grant Watson had enough of that charade. Shoestring tackle. The Hounds' defense came to play and forced another Indian punt. Noblin quickly put them back in the red zone. He rolls out to the right, and once again it is Jack King, the do-it-all man for the Greyhounds. What a play call. Rolling your QB out to the right, only forcing him to read half the field and allowing him to run if nothing was there. The Hounds go on to win this one 14-0 and move to 2-1 in the division. A big win for the Hounds. They moved to 3-4 on the season with tonight's victory. They have won 5 of the last 6 against the Indians. Biloxi will try and bounce back next week against the Yellow Jackets, while the Greyhounds will visit the West Harrison Hurricanes.
All right, thanks, Tristan. Josh, big win there for Ocean Springs, really big.
Absolutely, and for the first time in 5 years, the Iberville and West Harrison took the field together. This is the Hurricanes' first year in 6A play and sought to grab their first win ever over the Warriors tonight. The only team that's beaten Iberville, Picayune, one of the top teams in the state. Homecoming in Iberville, and the Warriors come out firing, already up 7-0. Cole Davis takes the handoff, puts his head down, and powers his way into the end zone, giving the Warriors a 14-0 lead. The Iberville defense showing its muscle as well. Gabe Bossard, get in the weight room, young fella. That West Harrison backfield comes up with the sack. Then the Warriors turn to the Jaden Wally show, first off picking up his WLX helmet sticker. Jaden Wally scores on a 13-yard run, bringing the Iberville fans of all ages to their feet. Up 21-0 in the second quarter, the Warriors go to the passing game. Dwight Williams connects with Wally. The Mississippi State commit takes it in for the touchdown. The Iberville gets some cruising on the coast inspiration. The Warriors cruise to the 42-7 win. Averaging 50 points per game, 430 yards on the ground, and holding their opponents to just under 15 points, Mike. There's a reason why Picayune is the top team in the coast.
Not just on the coast. They may be one of the best teams in the entire state, Josh.
Really?
I went there. They're ranked number 2 in the state according to Max Preps right now, and they have absolutely obliterated everybody on their schedule so far. First quarter, that's Cameron Thomas. He's waving goodbye to the defense. 50 yards to the house to open up the scoreboard. Picayune out to an early lead. And folks, the floodgates, they were just opening. On the next drive, Hattiesburg quarterback Jordan Willis is going to drop back to pass. This pass is going to be tipped at the line and picked off by Isaac Hickman. Oh, he just got that before it hit the ground. Momentum is really, really on the Tide side right now, and they were just absolutely rolling from the opening kick. What happened next? Well, they turned that interception into points, as they usually do. Cameron Thomas scores his second of the day. He has been outstanding this season. My gosh. The Tigers would respond with a touchdown by Tomasio Robertson, but it would be all tied in this one.
Play of the night, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go to St. Martin's Jay McGee, who took on the entire Rebel defense, as we saw, get off of him. McGee picked up a few more yards before being body slammed at the 3-yard line. But, of course, Michael, look at this run.
Boom.
The stand. Just go ahead and sit down. Just go ahead and take a seat as I make it all the way to the goal line. Okay, not really. St. Martin will get the shutout, as we just said. And, of course, how do you end the day? With Michael Jackson and some water.
If you missed our special segment last night, I'll get you up to speed. Me, Josh, and the rest of the Friday Night Football Showdown crew made our midseason selections for helmet stickers. But those were our picks, and we want to hear from you. If you have a submission you want to make for our end-of-the-season helmet stickers, email us or tweet me or Josh at the handles right there on your screen. Thanks a lot for joining us, Josh. This was a good one, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Enjoy some college football. Great day in college football tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You've seen it on ESPN's college football coverage, but you've never seen it here in South Mississippi. A new segment here on WLOX Sports, Helmet Stickers, where we pick several Coast athletes who we feel has stood out to us at the midway point of the season. We're going to start this thing off with Hugh. Hugh, I see the D'Iberville helmet there, and I can take an educated guess as to who you chose.
Yeah, that's right. The D'Iberville Warriors out to a 5-1 start. Guess what? The guy who gets the Warriors going, Jaden Wally. He gets the helmet sticker right there. Jaden Wally, a Mississippi State commitment, and if he ends up playing for the Bulldogs, Mississippi State is going to get an amazing athlete. It's like he just glides along the turf when he's running the football, and he has rushed for more than 90 yards in the last 3 straight games. Tristan?
Hugh, while Wally may do it for the D'Iberville team, Gaucher Gators have a Swiss Army knife by the name of Jordan Irving. Jordan has 9 touchdowns this year, and he's well deserving of the WLOX helmet sticker. He's got 3 by the ground, 2 through the air, and then 4 more touchdowns through kickoff coverage of some kind. This man is electric, and honestly, he's the big reason why the Gators are as feeders they are.
And you said through the air. Well, I know a guy who definitely can take it there. Dustin Allison from Pass Christian. He leads the state in passing yards with over 2,023 touchdowns and only 5 picks, guys. An incredible passer rating of 126 through 7 games. And Coach Pennick, I talked to him earlier today. He said that Dustin is an excellent decision maker with the football, and he keeps drives going offensively, and that's why Pass Christian is a force to be reckoned with in Region 4-8 play, and looks like they can be headed to the playoffs.
You're going through the air. I'm going on the ground. I got to go with KK Kendrick. The kid has been amazing so far this season. 7 touchdowns over the last 3 games. That includes a 249-yard, 4-touchdown explosion against Stone a couple weeks back. That was good for WLOX's Player of the Week honors. This guy has been the engine that makes the Biloxi offense go.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to keep it on ground and pound. Lanes Dickerson, West Harrison Hurricanes. Hurricane warning? Yeah, I'll bring that to you. He leads 6A in rushing touchdowns and yards against Pass Christian. He had 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's a machine. I want him on my fantasy team now.
I definitely hear that. We definitely had fantasy teams for high school football. We definitely would choose any of these athletes. Now, while these guys have set themselves apart, in our eyes, we know they are far from the only superstars here on the coast. And that's where you come in. Let us know who you think is worthy of a helmet sticker. You can email or tweet us your suggestions. And don't forget to tune in every Friday night from across the coast on Friday Night Football Showdown.